Hi everyone, it's Adam here from Ads Productions, and this is the review of the SteelSeries Sensei 10 wired gaming mouse. So let's talk a bit about the design. When you first take it out of the box, you will notice it's a sleek design. The reason it's sleek is because this is in fact an ambidextrous mouse, obviously meaning you can be left-handed or right-handed and use this mouse very comfortably. Usually ambidextrous mice are not as comfortable as ones that are ergonomically designed for either a left or right-hander, but this one is an exception to that rule. Very comfortable to use for long periods of time. From the looks of things, purely based on the aesthetic, this is a mouse that's both suitable for the LAN parties and the gaming arenas, as well as an office-based environment. The reason I say that is because it doesn't have all of the bells and whistles and LEDs flashing all over the show. It doesn't have some weird scroll wheel on the left. It's just a plain-ish looking mouse, and that's not necessarily a bad thing because you can use it wherever you want to. There is a matte plastic body to this. It does look pretty cool. It's not just a cheap looking plastic, it's a matte finish, which is always really cool, and it makes it that little bit more stylish than just the bog standard ones you see. In terms of buttons, there are 8 of them. You've got 2 main clickers, obviously left and right. You have the scroll wheel, which does click. You also have the sensitivity toggle just above this. And then you have 2 shortcut buttons on each side of the mouse. The aim of this mouse, at least what I get the impression of, is to have a no-frills, low-profile looking device that can keep up with the fast-paced gaming world, or at least the accuracy and performance that a mouse needs in the 21st century, doing things like very minor tweaks to some graphic design, maybe playing a game that's not a first-person shooter. In all tasks that you could expect from a mouse, this one is able to handle that. This weighs around 93 to 94 grams, or about 3.3 ounces, which means it is actually slightly heavier than its direct competition. However, it's still extremely light, which does allow for some fast twitches in game. If you want a great value mouse, that holds its own with whatever game you throw at it, whether it's Civilization, whether it's Counter-Strike, whether it's Warzone, you name it, this mouse will be able to handle it, not just because of the weight, but it helps. Now, my honest opinion when using this mouse was that it was, to be honest, fantastic. I had quick reactions in Warzone, played that for a bit, I'm no good at it, but hey, it didn't improve my game, but it definitely felt like I was more reactive and the mouse was able to quickly move left and right, as it should do with a mouse of this caliber. I also chose games like Civilization, where it was more of a comfort-based approach rather than having to have the pinpoint accuracy. Because, you know, when you play Civilization or those games, they can take up a lot of time. I put a few hours into it, and the mouse was comfortable from hour 1 to hour 5. Now, I mentioned the performance of the mouse when it was in a first-person shooter, in a more reactive kind of approach. Well, this is helped by the massive advantage of having the latest sensor technology that they've included into this mouse. I believe they call it the Truemove Pro. Basically, on paper it's saying it registers at 18,000 dpi with a polling rate of 1000 Hz, so it's going to be a pretty damn cool sensor that's going to be able to pinpoint accurate wherever you want to point on the screen. Good stuff from SteelSeries on that one. No matter how good this mouse is in terms of performance, we all know, at least you should know, that the SteelSeries engine is what really unlocks the true potential of these devices. Plug the device in, download the SteelSeries engine, and you've unlocked a range of different options and tweaks and settings that you can configure on different profiles, different macros, different settings. You can do whatever you need to do on the mouse to define it as yours with whatever sensitivity you like to play with. Depending on what profile you do, you can bind various buttons to various macros. The list goes on and on. I'm not saying you can't use one without the other, but let's just say you'll be missing out if you just plug the mouse in and play without configuring it using the SteelSeries engine first. Some of the main features that are available within the SteelSeries engine are things such as button mapping, LED defaults, mouse polling rates, angle snapping, sensitivity levels, and profiles. Again, it just goes on and on. Don't think it's too complicated to go through the SteelSeries engine software, because it really isn't. I didn't know what I was doing the first few times I opened the software, but it's very intuitive. You quickly learn where the sort of options are that you're looking for. If you want to configure macros, this will also be the place to do that. You can create loads and loads and loads of profiles though on your PC, but unfortunately with this mouse, the onboard storage only allows for a single profile to be stored on the inbuilt memory on the mouse. Everything else has to be done locally on your PC. Overall, this mouse isn't the most value friendly, especially when compared to other mice in its class, or its direct competitors for that matter. However, what it lacks there, it certainly makes up for in top tier performance. Superb comfort for an ambidextrous mouse, and maximum performance in a variety of different games. I don't really know of any negatives to this mouse, apart from the fact that you might not like the style of it, you might not like the matte finish. Hey, it's not for everybody. You might not like that it's got 4 buttons, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. It's completely down to preference. In terms of performance and use, you just can't fault this mouse. There's no way of saying it otherwise. So if you're in the market for a mouse like this, that has customization options backed by a reputable brand, and has great comfort, and you want kind of a trust there knowing that there's a community and an engine behind it, why would you look anywhere else apart from this SteelSeries Sensei 10? Yes, there are similar mice out there that you might be able to get for a little bit cheaper. However, me personally, I've used SteelSeries from a range of different devices, be it keyboards, mice, headsets, you name it, and you just come to trust a brand in the end of the day. And this is one that definitely lives up to the brand's expectation, or at least what you should expect from the brand is what I was meant to say. And that's the thing, you can't really talk a whole lot about mice. You can say it's comfortable to use, you can say it performs well in games, it looks cool, here's the software, but besides that, it's all down to what you think. If you can, I would get out to your local PC hardware store, see if you can try this mouse for yourself, see if you like the comfort, see if it fits the size of your hand, and then go for it. Why not? And as a result, we'll leave the video there. It's not the longest video I've ever done, but I think it's more than adequate when talking about a mouse of this caliber. It's definitely worth checking out, so thank you very much for watching. This has been Adam from Ads Productions, and this has been the review of the SteelSeries Sensei 10 wired gaming mouse.